Woke up at 3 a.m., brain buzzing like a server farm. Fingers twitching, code dreams dripping, syntax alarms. Coffee's brewing, my lifeblood, my ritual rite. The glow of the monitors, my artificial sunlight. My repo's calling, my fork's alive. Staring at the issues log, feeling electrified. A pull request ping, an unfamiliar name from someone halfway across the globe. But we're playing the same game. Control C, my fatigue, Control V, my soul. This terminal's a portal and I'm losing control. Slack's lighting up, Git's gotta fight. Merge conflicts, tearing at the edges of the night. I'm a node in the matrix, a ghost in the code. An open source outlaw on this endless road. They call me a hacker, but I'm building the sky. This isn't a job, it's my reason to fly. Let me tell you about the time I rewrote a kernel just to see if I could compile T2 Linux in the dead of the night. Fed it to a VM and it sang like a digital night. Then it hit me hard, like a null pointer crash. This isn't just software, this is a digital rap. Spreading across the mainframe of reality's core. Cracking closed systems, leveling the score. I'm a node in the matrix, a ghost in the code. An open source outlaw on this endless road. They call me a hacker, but I'm building the sky. This isn't a job, it's my reason to fly.
Welcome everyone to a quick YouTube summary, breaking news. What have we done this week here at T2 Linux? Just a little bit, I hope we are live. Maybe drop me a note if we are live. Oh no, it's something renders. Revolutionary breaking news, stops the presses. Revolutionary Other Linux OS system takeover, super easy installation procedure. Basically a world's first. It's now easier than ever to install T2, not that it would be particularly hard, but now it's even easier with just one simple command. Remember all those modern websites, Rust and so on, Docker and everyone, like how do you install something these days? Rust up and stuff, right? The Rust toolchain installer, cur stuff, pipe shell, hold my beer, literally. You can do this probably, hopefully, maybe, most likely the first Linux distribution. To offer that, who doesn't know that? You just spend all your time selecting the right installation stuff of other Linux distributions and you're not satisfied, or it's cursed cheap SBC overseas SBC small board computer stuff with custom not upstream kernel things. So we will also next make this work for embedded boards to take over no-name, not updated vendor images, things, and just use their kernel initly. But today, if you want to try this at home, either take your last Ubuntu Fedora. We tested a couple, like the last days we had fun and realized all the other Linux distributions are actually not that good. I tried a handful. Why don't you try Clear Linux, Ubuntu Fedora, Alpine, Gentoo? I was not. There are reasons why I prefer my slightly biased but beloved T2 Linux. Case in point, some Ubuntu, maybe a recent, maybe the last, maybe some LTS. Currently, you need to be logged into a VT, frame buffer and thing, right? Next, we have it to do. Next, we will also make this better work in X. Anyway, so you have a previous install here, fresh Ubuntu, like you need to become somehow root. Also best with, right, this might also have been the wrong. Also, we can do this. So this is a serial console. We can also do this here. Actually, I've actually not tested that on this. Let's test it here live. If it doesn't work, we will see. All right, we need to test. Here we can't copy and paste. So curl, so that is the same, right? That's a VM, but it also works on real hardware. And next, we will also make this work on PowerPC and Spark. I mean, it works on PowerPC and Spark. Just we need to fill our server-side repository of things. Curl. LS, so you don't need LS and stuff, just LS location. Depending on the URL, S is just silent, so basically curl, whatever, HTTP, you can remember that, right? T2 Linux com install without typos sh. Very experimental new code version 002. It may or may not work, and delete obviously all your data. HTTP T2 Linux com support. Continue loading T2 Linux into /takeover. Yes, please. Then you get the stuff over the internet. Setting up new file system, about to take over init, killing. So what this does, and it took me, so this simple thing took us nearly the whole week to develop, probably 40 hours. So may I present to you the latest investment of making T2 the greatest, the most beloved, the hacker-friendly prosumer coder, and minimally just working all CPU architectures supported Linux distribution. We don't just wipe all your data. So wiping the data you need to do yourself, although it might wipe data before that. So apply with caution and test this in a VM and stuff. So what this does is now all the Ubuntu disappeared and T2 Linux took over the running Linux system, right? It killed all the stuff away. It unmounted all the file systems. And this is super tricky stuff, right? As far as I know, as far as I've seen, probably no other Linux distribution installs like that. And this will not replace, of course, you do not need obviously install Ubuntu and Arch Gentoo and stuff, right? All you need to do is, of course, download T2 and install it. And this is just one more option to make your life easy. Like you effed up your Arch Linux, you don't like your Gentoo anymore, you watched our superior stuff live on Twitch and stuff, and you want to migrate. So to fully migrate, so this is a rescue thing, like you can just like try it out a little bit. This is our production T2 minimal installer thing, right? So as you see here, done, have fun. You might want to exec, and with exec, I literally mean exec. Maybe we need to make this more clear. Like you can do stuff here, right? Like this is Linux now, but you probably want to exec as bin init. So because that continues installer, which of course slightly doesn't work. TTY 0. Okay, that is not ideal. Okay, small y is all right. So that is that here. This will not happen. This will not happen for you unless you boot, because I booted from the serial console, right? A tiny implementation. Like we probably could make this even better. You could also, like, if you don't want that, you can actually enter that TTY anyway. So, and then you can install it. We did this live on Twitch, so that should work. So that is basically the T2 installer booted over and like loaded and booted into from your running Linux system without kexec. And you can use the stuff. So because this was an Ubuntu install, so you don't need to wipe your other OS. You could shrink those volumes and stuff. But for simplicity, like that is on you, however you want to do that here. But I will simply remove that. Also, this was actually I wanted to delete that here. And then tell it to, like, you know what, I don't need to Ubuntu anymore. Erase all this data and give me better FS. And install all of this. It should work. So what this does is network install from HTTP. And yes, we will soon do HTTPS. It's just putting curl in there because currently it's using some network install fget. DL stuff like installing T2 with a simply easy, it's like, let's try minimalistic. I didn't try that recently. Like, what could possibly go wrong? We did try minimal xorg, so there may or may not be one stuff missing. And what this stuff does now is it's installing from your previously running Ubuntu, Gentoo, Arch, all the other 2500, not as many architecture supporting stuff, T2 Linux from our binary precompiled latest and greatest state of the art server hosted repository things. But can you install Doom? Yes, of course. We are live, and HTML, good programming language to learn. HTML is not a programming language, it's a hypertext markup language. Otherwise, maybe JavaScript might be relatively okay to learn. Yeah, if that is not amazing, I don't know what is. So what is that for? That is basically for everyone who wants to bootstrap T2 easily. That is basically one hip, trendy, hipster, state-of-the-art option. of making T2 great and more widely used again. Of course, especially for server boards, right? We will also add specific support. So we have not yet done that. Like basically we spent all, because this is basically week 1, 2025. Happy New Year. Welcome to the future. And especially making small embedded board stuff better. Imagine you get some Mango Pi, Orange Pi, Star 5, Sci 5 stuff and whatnot. And want to use a vendor kernel, right? And we will also add, so currently it's not yet there, so currently you would, sorry, to do that manually. But we will add dedicated support to automatically reuse the kernel, right? So that you can transfer your cursed outdated stuff. I mean, it will still be outdated kernel, but like for Mango Pi and all the other Orange Pi and all the other crap and things and stuff and Star 5 Vision 2. Also, especially with bootloader stuff, right? Because the problem is this will extremely help and solve all the, I mean, at least solve in the high level bird view picture of like, at least you have that working. Also T2 installed already. Let's hope the minimal thing otherwise worked. Good that we test this. And so grub, of course, right? We want grub. So the only thing is you need to be careful with some things because Ubuntu, like some other cursed modern hipster Linux distribution things, renames S0 for no reasons. So this will not just work with T2, just like a little bit common sense, right? Like basically do not configure that because when we further boot T2, this will not be cursely named anymore. That is just the normal T2 stuff. And so next volume T2, like just like this within a minute or two, depending on your internet speed and connectivity and stuff. If that is not amazing and the future, I don't know what is. Migrating to T2 never was that easy. We tested a handful. If you have very different Linux distributions, your mileage may vary, depending on the init system and stuff. And kernel support stuff, we tested a bunch and made this work. Next, also, theoretically, we could support migrating macOS and potentially maybe Windows, like Windows with PowerShell stuff. So if you love Windows and you want to contribute patches of auto-shrinking Windows C drive and making space and scripting, putting the grub bootloader on Windows there and then rebooting in Windows, that would be amazing. Otherwise, I don't love Windows, so I will probably not do that myself. Similar macOS, right? Intel and Apple Silicon doing boot stuff, loading stuff, and scripting, that would be amazing. Of course, it can be simply conditionalized. Currently running stuff, macOS doing stuff differently. The possibilities are endless, and patches welcome. I hope you find this amazing and give it a try. So this is only because if we would have configured that, if that would not be renamed, then it would just work. So that's then T2, right? There, ready at your service. Currently it doesn't, currently you need to be on either serial console or frame buffer because we would kill X and Wayland away. So some more fine-grained stuff, also pure experimentation, creativity, welcome patches, like if you want to make this, basically we can't have their Wayland and X running when we kill all of this away and want to unmount their root file system. So we would at least kill that away gracefully and switch to some other terminal or so to make this work, or other similar such creative things, maybe even starting some DRM con and stuff, but patches welcome and stuff for initial revolutionary T2 Linux takeover work. That is amazing. Also, I should say, shout out to Hector Makan, right? Inspired doing the work. I found this last year. He did some emergencies, but his takeover is not full system install thing. Also, it's not as full-featuredly advanced we spent the whole week. There are some code lines left of this here, but definitely shout out, amazing stuff. But like as you see here, this is just like some root server recovery thing. Nonetheless, shout out there, amazing PS3, Asahi Linux and stuff. Highly appreciated. Actually, there's not even copyright for some reason. Anyway, we just made it production ready and directly T2 integrated. And in the future, we will probably, so like this is ready there at your service. Next, we will see this. So currently it's x86-64 only. It is only to support more architectures that are all T2 supported. It is server side unpacking there the installer files on the server, wiring this up. So the next days, like go ahead, give that a try, report in the comments, Discord, mailing list, or all over the internet. Your results and so on, and let us know how it goes, what you're missing, what should be better. There are a bunch of to-dos, so if you want, like, you can look into the file that is downloaded. For example, maybe somewhere like here, there are a bunch of, like, we should do some more error checking. Certainly other OS, X Wayland, Mac OS and stuff, as I said. Some size check also, like if you have enough size and some other, maybe even Windows subsystem. Like basically, whatever you encounter, make stuff better. Also, it could actually theoretically, maybe I add this better here. And of course, root server, right? Of course, similar to Mark Hahn's root server recovery use case here, you can use this for your root server there in some data center to take over some root server installation and replace it with more up-to-date, superior, high performance, more minimal and stuff. So that is, what did I say? I said I wanted fix take over, not use kernel command line console equals. Although, I mean, maybe not. You know what? Maybe that's actually I booted like this. Like basically, maybe it. Actually, you know what? Maybe no. Actually, now I think about this. Actually, even if you booted with here, actually here, let take over boot, not fall back to proc, because it's coming. Basically, our installer is intelligently doing that. So it's actually a feature, but yeah. If that ain't amazing, I don't know what is. You find a summary on our Reddit as well as the website already and Patreon. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and notify the internet of this new era of simply installing T2 Linux. Thrilled to share this exciting news. Installation process game changer for supporting RISC, CISC, ISERs, making it one of the most versatile, adaptable Linux distros out there. Truly sets T2 apart is supporting all CPU ISERs. Now simply take over older other OS installation with a single command, transforming, so maybe typers and grammar, transforming a current Linux OS into T2 Linux with that simple curl trick. Simplicity aligns perfectly with T2's Linux mission, providing a robust, lightweight, flexible platform for developers, tinkerers, and anyone passionate about exploring the boundaries of what Linux can do. Installing a couple of OSs like Ubuntu and stuff, all the modern systemd stuff is really depressive, right? Like gazillions of services, like the amount of services that they are running there is simply depressive. And like using hundreds of megabytes of memory when T2 boots, it's like 40 megabyte used, and they use like 400 or 500 and stuff, and have like 100 processes running. It's like, thanks systemd. So yeah, leave in the comments below how you like this experience, how you like general, minimally vanilla reference T2 Linux, because boom, done with a simple trick. Your current Linux setup gets upgraded to T2 Linux, keeping it hacker friendly and ready for action. Cross either lightweight, modular, performance first, perfect for DIYers, coders, non-nonsense environment, tinkerers, pushing the limits of unusual and obsolete vintage and retro hardware. Hackers who love to test, tweak, break, and then fix things, like on your PS3, Nintendo Wii, or Switch. let's check in the comments. I hope you like this. Yeah, so cool. I hope you, I hope you try it out. We made T2, like T2, the growth of T2 is of course outstanding. 5 years, like 25 years in the making, 5 years live on YouTube and now daily Twitch. Of course, make a difference. We now have a handful of new people with write access, accelerating, reviewing patches. We now have people not daily but hourly sending patches. And people, fans and users, making it a mission to send a fix every day, totally accelerating the development of all things T2, desktop environments, features, quirks, hacks, and other hardware, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U, you name it. Let me check the comments. People love it. Sandro there, that is the one. This is install script, also set up, clean up all the grub. So because T2 is minimal and lightweight, it doesn't do that. We could do that. It's maybe easy, but yeah, and yeah. I mean, I could put it on the to-do. The problem is it's a little bit, I like to keep T2 minimal and I mean, maybe take over thing, but I'm more for keeping it clean and stuff. Like, this is so less important implementation details and easily to solve manually that I'm a little bit, but yeah, patches welcome and other suggestions. Where you get the root password, did you set up it during installation? Yes, of course, that was just a test thing. But also, like, it would be amazing if more and more people hacking and tweaking hardware use the T2 infrastructure to, like, Nintendo game console, Sony, Xbox enablement things of, like, just take over game consoles with a simple, nicely curated hardware package repository things. Otherwise, we could, of course, add, we could actually add a special mode of, like, a collection of last decades of most biggest security vulnerabilities. Like, let's say you have a Wi-Fi access point or other network access storage with decade-old Linux and you want to take that over. Instead of fiddling and stuff, like, theoretically we could, like, your creativity, right? I could actually, patches welcome. I'm probably not doing this soon. Take over, include list of exploits to unlock embedded to root embedded devices. Didn't even think about that case, like, one YouTube live stream later and you get already the next ideas. Why not auto hack stuff like an iPhone and stuff, like root me there on this website, like just serve there and have T2 installed on your PS3 and Apple Silicon. Coming up next, your creativity and patch required. I've never seen desktop usage of this. Which one? This one? Which one? This? I'm literally live streaming. I'm live. Which one? T2. I'm literally using this as my desktop since 1998. I'm literally live streaming from, like, this Steam Deck Jupiter 1 custom AMD APU 405 thing. XFCE, like, basically T2 comes with everything. Sky's the limit. Package once runs everywhere now with Java, Wayland and LibreOffice, Firefox. Like, this distribution simply is amazing, but I might be a little bit biased. T2 good for daily driver. I mean, at least it works for me. Probably you can make it too. Some patches may be required. Make we do later. Yeah, so probably for this, like, next we will do embedded board stuff that's not yet wired up. Need to populate. I will probably test, like, PowerPC next because it's a fat nice desktop machine here, and then RISC-V and Raspberry Pi, right? Like, basically taking over Raspberry Pi and other such SBC things easy, or your desktop and server. depending on your requirements. We'll check it out, thinking of using T2 on, I had this, how many people working? Accumulated over, like now, basically, probably it doesn't. Over the last years, thousands, and with everything being so buggy and borked and bloated, increasingly more, especially thanks to my shameless YouTube and Twitch self-promotion. Happy that you enjoyed this, and hope you enjoy this and try it out. And leave us in the comments, like, yeah, 2025, the future of T2 continues. I hope you found this interesting and learned something, and go there, try that out, report what worked and what doesn't, and also, like, that is early alpha version 002 that may or may not eat your data, hopefully not your cat. Virtual machine test isolation, welcome. If you miss an architecture, drop us a note to speed up deployment of other architectures. And yeah, such an underrated distro, exactly. That is also ChatGPT's opinion. Do I have this still open? Rust thing here. Exactly what ChatGPT generated. I didn't even tell it to generate it here, or somewhere ChatGPT said the same. Even AI knows that. Somewhere of revolutionary distribution and stuff empowers Linux. T2 empowers Linux enthusiasts to harness robust features in minutes, experience the unparalleled performance and compatibility. That is all. I only told ChatGPT, write me press release of this feature. That is what ChatGPT did. And of course, where do we have this versatile distribution? Now easier than ever to install, unlock compatibility. Here probably your next go-to distro for RISC and CISC hardware for fellow hackers. Quick post here. Seriously underrated. I did not tell ChatGPT to write this. I only told it give me press release for curl T2 install, and that's what it did. And then it said lag and for hackers and stuff for hacker forum. Seriously underrated distro that's making waves. It's not locked to some niche hardware. Bad boys work across all RISC and CISC stuff. Whether you're rocking ARM x86 or something more exotic like RISC-V, T2 Linux has you covered. With that, that's it for this live stream. Raspberry Pi stuff, installer, things, imager, need to supply ready-made. Yeah, the thing is, sure, we will also do this eventually, but it's also super annoying. I mean, I said this before, it's ridiculous that there is not a standard bootloader procedure and each board YOLOs their own stuff. And then it's like, instead of having one image, you need dozens with small bootloader quirks and features and kernel. That is exactly why, I mean, of course, now the amazing thing is, everyone, when I'm somewhere, and I need T2, like, instead of loading USB, like, even for me, I'm at some hacker space and stuff, and people's like, hey, can I have T2 links? Sure, curl T2, install, pipe shell, no filling with USB things. And of course, we will test and make it work on PS3 and similar such fun stuff for easier upgrades and deployments of this seriously underrated reference vanilla generic, optimized, unbloated, and versatile, all things supported Linux distribution. That's it now, really, for that. I need some sleep after this workaholic week of making this feature work. And where do I get all this free hardware? Which free? What do you mean free? I pay for hardware. But if you have hardware, what do you mean with free hardware? Also, don't mind our AI music, so I post a link there. Maybe Spotify release next. Have a good night or day, and see you next time.
Woke up at 3 a.m., brain buzzing like a server farm. Fingers twitching, code dreams dripping, syntax alarms. Coffee's brewing, my lifeblood, my ritual rite. The glow of the monitors, my artificial sunlight. My repo's calling, my fork's alive. Staring at the issues log, feeling electrified. A pull request ping, an unfamiliar name from someone halfway across the globe, but we're playing the same game.